Who will win the 2024 elections? A lot has happened, and some people have begun to look at that particular idea. What do the dynamics look like? There's a poll that came out just before the ANC went to conference that is from Ipsos and has a projection on this particular result. It says that the ANC is going to come in at 45%. The Democratic Alliance is going to come in at 16%, the EFF at 13%, and the IFP at 4%. And then it gives 22% to other. Is this poll accurate? That could be the question that you're asking yourself. Well, the best way to measure that is to actually look at previous polls that have been run by Ipsos. And there's actual data from the last election, which was the 2019 election. What they projected for 2019 in 2017, I think, was that ANC would get 61%, the DA would get 19%, and the EFF would get 11% with a 71% turnout. The turnout actually turned out to be 66% because the ANC voters didn't show up in 2019. And the results were ANC 57.5, lower than the Ipsos poll, DA 20.8, higher than the Ipsos poll, and EFF 10.8, almost exactly where Ipsos had put them. So what this indicates is that the ANC turnout really affected their outcomes, and even they polled worse than what Ipsos was projecting. But generally, Ipsos was within a percent or at worst 2 percentage points of actually getting it right. So if they say the ANC is going to get 45%, then that should be taken relatively serious because of their track record and prior accuracy. I think that this is actually right. And I think that the ANC actually is going to either get the 45 or even lower. Reason being, I don't think that the ANC will have a high turnout in 2024. Why will they not have a high turnout? First and foremost, the factional battles within the ANC are continuing. So when you have factional battles, that discourages voters from your particular entity from showing up. That's number one. Number two, the ANC is plagued by accusations and perceptions of corruption, and they haven't gone away. And the Phala Phala scandal hasn't taken any of that perception away. In fact, it's exacerbated it because the man who was perceived to be the good guy is also perceived now to be in his own scandal. So I don't think that they're going to run away or escape the charges of being a corrupt party. Then also the composition of the top seven. Many people actually find it to be lackluster and to have people who've had prior scandals before Paul Mashatile, Nomvula Mokonyane, Gwede Mantashe, as well as Cyril Ramaphosa. They don't view all of these people as being above the board. And finally, the economy and the fundamentals within the economy. Normally, when a governing party is governing a good economy, growing economy, they have higher turnout because the voters who support them have energy to go out. But when you have an economy which is underperforming, low growth, high unemployment, high poverty, as well as high cost of living, you have depressed turnout. So I think that's going to continue into next year, and it's going to continue into 2024. So I think that these results for the ANC are relatively accurate. I think that the DA is going to even get lower than the 16% that they're projecting because Helen Zille and John Steenhuisen have just, irritated people so much that I don't think they're going to get traction. With the black electorate. I think the EFF is going to perform better than 13%, but I'm most interested in the 22% that other. Who's that going to be? Is it going to be Build One South Africa led by Musi Maimane? Is it going to be Action SA? Because that is going to have a bearing on how the coalition governments are actually formed. As things stand, if the DA is on 45 and if the ANC is on 45 and the DA is on 16, they can actually form a governing coalition. And many people say that the Democratic and Democratic Alliance and the ANC right now under Cyril Ramaphosa have a lot in common and that they are ideologically on the same page, pro-privatization, neoliberalism rather. And as a result, they can actually form a coalition and govern for another period of 5 years. But that's what the data indicates. What do you think? Do you think that the EFF will only get 13%? Do you think that the ANC is being underestimated and will renew come 2024? Where do you stand? on this particular Ipsos poll. Are you going to be participating in the 2024 election, and what will you be voting for? Let's have a conversation in the comments. I read the comments. I'm up in there with you. Let's chat.